You got to realize this is 1987. The R-Dat, as it was originally called, the R-Dat, rotary digital audio tape recorder, as opposed to stationary, SDAT, they basically weren't allowed into the United States. The Recording Industry Association of America were blocking R-DATs, DAT recordings, to enter the United States because they thought it was too close to the master, and the record company thought you can't have these recordings because this tape recorder can make a perfect recording. And not unlike a cassette, you know, you lose something when you make a cassette recording. So Canada did not have this embargo, but the United States did. Sony Canada, my friend up there, Gary Osborne, was a very good friend of mine. He had this professional PCM 2500 DAT machine. I was recording the choir over at St. Mary Magdalene's Church, and that was only about a day or two before doing Trinity. So I brought the DAT machine with me, and I had my own recording system, but I paralleled it up. The piece of gear I was using, I had a Nakamichi DMP 100, which was the higher end version of the Sony F1. And it was Nakamichi built it, and they built it with better quality capacitors and better resistors, and they made it in more audiophile than the Sony version. And then the recorder I was using was an SL 2700, I believe, Betamax recorder. So the processor takes analog, converts it to digital, and then converts that into a black and white video stream, which where all the data is on. So this is a very early digital recorder. So it would then record onto the Betamax, and that's how we recorded. Now, at the same time, Sony had offered me to try out the PCM 2500 professional DAT machine. So I had it here as well, and I was recording to parallel both systems. But be honest with you, the DAT sounded horrible. It sounded so bad. And a lot of the reason was because the Sony had tried to make it more professional, so they put in balanced inputs and balanced outputs, but they had all these massive electronics to, because really what it was a small consumer DAT machine built into this big heavy box. And it was Sony was trying to deal with a problem with the embargo, so they came up with this idea for the professional unit. Anyway, it sounded horrible compared to my Nakamichi. My Nakamichi I'd modified with apogee. I'd cut holes in the Nakamichi, and they actually had fins. It looked like a hot rod car because I had purple fins sticking out because I actually put in apogee A to D converters into the Nakamichi. So that's why it sounds so good, and it was not recorded on a DAT, or I did. Now let me be clear. I did a parallel recording. None of the DAT recordings ever showed up on vinyl or anything that you hear. Everything you hear was recorded through the Nakamichi with the apogee modified, and I had also gone through and replaced caps, and even though Nakamichi had made it much more audiophile, like I actually took it even, like I do all my gear. It's all hot rodded, tweak it, gotta make it better.